Hello amigos! In today's video I'm going to show you the #1 mistake that is super common among new riders and even some experienced ones. This is especially true for those who learn to ride after driving a car. Don't worry, today we'll fix this mistake. Plus, I'll share a couple of tips to improve your clutch control and make your riding smoother. By using the clutch the way I demonstrate in this video, you'll be able to take off much faster, improve your balance on the bike and say goodbye to accidental stalling.
Bro, I gotta get the hell out of here, man.
If you've just stumbled across this channel for the first time, welcome! My name is Andrei Bodrov. I am your new favorite motorcycle instructor who creates online courses to help riders to improve their skills and handle a bike with confidence. For instance, our King of the Road course features over 40 exercises designed to help you become a safer, more confident rider in just 9 weeks. Click the link below to check it out and sign up to be notified when the next season opens. So, what's the #1 mistake that causes beginner riders to stall at traffic lights or tip over during U-turns? Let's take a look at an example. Can you guess what I'm doing wrong here? If you said you are dumping the clutch too fast, you're partially correct, but as we all know, partial answers don't count. In addition to releasing the clutch too quickly, I am also not giving the bike enough throttle. This is a super common mistake I see riders make in my courses all the time. Check this out. If I give the bike plenty of throttle before taking off, I can literally dump the clutch and the engine won't stall. That said, it is still better not to release the clutch too quickly, especially on bigger bikes, unless you are a big fan of somersaults. However, adding more throttle definitely solves the stalling problem. More importantly, it also helps incredibly with balance when riding at slow speeds. As you might remember from our clutch and friction zone videos, when riding slowly, you can use the clutch to help balance the bike. If it ever feels like your bike is about to tip over, you can simply release the clutch a bit and the bike will instantly stand up. But here is the catch. Without enough throttle, the bike could easily stall. And on heavier motorcycle, a stall almost guarantees a drop. Even if it doesn't drop, the bike's reaction to you releasing the clutch will be very sluggish, and that might not be fast enough to prevent it from tipping over. With enough throttle, this problem disappears completely. You just release the clutch a tiny bit, and bike effortlessly stands up. Pretty cool, right? The only problem is that most riders instinctively hesitate to open the throttle enough, especially those guys who learned to drive a car first. Why? Because car engines generally rev much lower than on a bike, and first gear in a car is usually lower as well. This means that in first gear a car can move with almost no throttle, even at idle. To stall it, you'd really have to dump the clutch quickly. Plus, in a car, the engine is isolated from the driver, making it much quieter. Because of this, people who drive cars get used to low-revving, quiet engines at low speeds. Later, when they ride a bike, they feel weird revving the engine in similar low-speed situations. It just feels wrong. But here's the thing. There is absolutely nothing wrong with revving the bike. Most bike engines are designed to rev higher. They don't produce much torque at low RPMs like a car engine, but they make plenty in the mid and high ranges. You won't harm the engine by keeping the throttle slightly open. Don't worry, bikes are built to be ridden like this. Great! Now that we've identified the issue, let's try a simple exercise to turn theory into muscle memory. As we go through it, I'll also share a couple more clutch tips you might find useful. Before we move on to the exercise, I want to take a moment to talk about our sponsor, Ultramax Cell, the best high-tech base layers for motorcycle riders on the market. What makes Ultramax Cell stand out is the material, a cutting-edge polypropylene fiber with a unique three-dimensional structure. This design creates a compression effect, ensuring the fabric fits snugly and performs efficiently across your entire body. The real magic lies in the 3D honeycomb structure, which increases the material's surface area. This allows it to wick moisture away from your body and evaporate it quickly. In hot weather, this feature enhances evaporative cooling, keeping you cool and comfortable. In cold conditions, the honeycomb design traps more air around your body, providing some extra insulation to keep you warm. Compared to standard thermal clothing, Ultramax Cell is a nice upgrade. I can highly recommend it. I have included an Amazon link in the video description along with their direct contact information. You might find a better deal by contacting them directly. And now, let's get into the exercise, shall we? It's called Stop and Go. And it is fantastic exercise for building coordination between the clutch and throttle. Here is how it works. We move forward in a straight line and make very short, complete stops, followed by short accelerations. The idea is that when the bike stops, it naturally wants to tip over. By making a quick acceleration, you stabilize it. Repeating this process helps build the necessary muscle memory. We'll start with an easier version first. Move forward very slowly, under 5 miles per hour. Pull in the clutch past the biting point, so it doesn't drag you forward. Apply light pressure to the rear brake and bring your bike to a complete stop. You can put your feet down for now, but try to stop the bike as vertically as possible. Keep your eyes far ahead the entire time. Don't look down even when the bike is stopped. Make absolutely sure that when you pull in the clutch, you pull it past the biting point, so it doesn't push the bike forward. If you find yourself needing to use the rear brake really hard to stop, it likely means the clutch isn't fully disengaged and it is still dragging you forward. Pulling the clutch enough is critical to prevent it from working against the rear brake and overheating. And here comes the key for today's practice. Keep your throttle slightly open. Around 2–2.5 times the ideal RPM should do the trick, but don't be afraid to give it a little more if needed. In this case, it is better to have too much throttle than not enough. You can either hold the throttle open throughout the exercise, or open it just before releasing the clutch. Technically, it doesn't matter, but it's usually easier for beginners to keep it slightly open the whole time. Once you've got the throttle covered, you'll immediately notice how easily the bike accelerates and balances every time you release the clutch a little. As you stop the bike, aim to do it more vertically and with better balance each time. Try not to put your foot down until the bike has completely stopped. Avoid dangling your feet while the bike is still moving. Keep your arms slightly bent at the elbows, relaxed and loose. And remember, look far ahead to improve your sense of balance. When you're comfortable with all this, challenge yourself to make your stops very brief, so brief that you don't need to put your feet down. Simply slow down, stop for a moment, then release the brake and clutch a little to move forward a few feet, and then repeat. Pay attention to how you operate the clutch. Ensure it is fully disengaged when you stop. At this stage, it becomes crucial to catch the bike when it becomes unbalanced. A little helpful trick is not to pull in the clutch all the way. Instead, find the sweet spot where the clutch is already disengaged and doesn't drag you forward, but not pulled all the way in. By pulling in the clutch to this point, when you need to release it, you'll only need to do it a small amount to recover the balance. This seemingly small detail makes a surprisingly big difference. When your bike starts tipping over, even a fraction of a second matters, and being able to release the clutch a bit quicker can help. And of course, remember to either keep the throttle open the entire time or open it before releasing the clutch. Otherwise, the clutch will respond sluggishly and might not stabilize the bike in time. Some people worry that not pulling in the clutch fully will cause it to overheat and burn out. That's not true. Once the clutch is past the biting point, it is fully disengaged. It stops generating significant heat. I even made a video to prove this. I spent a full hour riding with the clutch in the friction zone. Can you guess what happened to it? So, don't worry about it. As long as you're not stomping on the brake while slipping the clutch, it'll be fine. Well, unless you're riding a dry clutch Ducati, Moto Guzzi or an old BMW. In that case, you're supposed to say your bike has character. It just doesn't like you slipping the clutch. Awesome! Now go ahead and try this exercise for yourself. After just half an hour or so, you'll notice a significant improvement in your balance at slow speeds. If you like the result, be sure to check out our courses. They'll drastically enhance every aspect of your riding. In just a couple of months, you won't even recognize yourself on the bike. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, share it with your friends and subscribe for more tips and riding advice. As always, thank you for watching, ride safely and have a wonderful day! Bye!